Sure. So we did the eclipse this year, and we decommissioned IT by jamming it into a planet.
Wow.
So one way we look at decommissioning is a little different than most. No, I am going to pull on that thread, which is changing a culture. So when I got to NASA in 2015, they had already had the wisdom to ask themselves some really tough questions with regard to the way they manage IT. And we have to remember that NASA will invent the IT that it needs for the specific purpose, which includes being part of the team that brought us the internet. And we still have that, we wear that well because we can invent. But IT is a strategic resource now, and much more now than it was, and the threats against the agency are much greater. In every agency and every human faces that different threat, and it's rising every day. But in the wisdom, they said IT needs to be a strategic resource, and that was done through what's called a business services assessment. And then I came in innocently, and they said, okay, make it happen. Well, you can move boxes and all of that, but you really need to capture the hearts and minds of those that serve you, that are in your organization, and those that are perhaps a little more resistant to what you want to get done. And so I've been working for a couple of years on the business services assessment, which is restructuring the delivery of IT, many more enterprise services, but also making the tough calls of what should be locally done and that which is still going to very much be done by the missions as long as I've got insights into that. So it's jammed my calendar. I get to be part of decisions of planetary protection. What do you think's going to be first when we return from Mars with humans? How do you prepare for that? What IT is there? What's your cybersecurity plan? What's your safety plan? And also been part of other conversations about the Mars journey that we've been talking about, whether we pivot back to the moon, where do we go from there? And so that's been really exciting to be accepted that way, but it wasn't easy to get there because IT was seen at NASA as just the delivery of that device. Well, now we're recognizing, in part because of cyber threats, that we need to be at the table to make sure that what we do in the corporate isn't affecting the mission, our flying assets. That's why I'm putting it up here, and I am including airplanes in that one, as well as our ground systems, which is our mission operations control, and our HVAC systems. You know, all of these things speak and interconnect with each other. And so NASA's really grabbed onto this and really embraced it. And we can't keep up with the demands that we are now getting to be parts of teams to both better protect NASA and continue to allow us to share our data across the globe. And in fact, a lot of our data comes from off this planet.
What the lesson learned that you want to pass on, Renee, and
I was worried you thought it's because I can't be taught. But thank you. I think the lesson learned is any time that, and you never know how a change is going to hit someone, right? Even on a personal level, that change part is really hard. And so the day before you start what you're going to do is the time that you need to start thinking about change leadership, because you really have to grab people's hearts and minds with what you want to do so they'll bring what they know to the table and make what you're doing even better in its next iteration. And if you don't do that, you're going to be facing headwinds the whole entire time, and the celebrations are always sort of a little bit dampened because some people feel like it was done to them and they weren't part of that process.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I am so happy